This lesson is a continuation of our study of the book of Psalms, and it begins with Psalm 27, which is a psalm of assurance that we always have a spiritual refuge. The psalm will also point to prophetically Jacob's trouble, which is none other than that 5-month period when Satan seats himself on the north side of Mount Zion, God's place, and claims to be Jesus. Verse 1, the Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? Light, we're told in the book of John, verse 12 of chapter 8, that Jesus is the light of the world, and his followers are not in darkness. We are told that in Matthew 10 to verse 28, to be specific, to fear one who can take our soul and not just our flesh. Strength of my life there in verse 1, that life is flesh. Soul is nephesh, and ki is flesh. And it means in this instance the flesh body. Strength there is mahs, defense in a fortified-like place. The Lord is our strength, and when we are spiritually in his place, we are in a defended, fortified like place. Verse 2, when the wicked, even mine enemies and my foes, come upon me to eat up my flesh, they stumbled and fell. Wicked, some earlier psalm here, we had the man of the earth, none other than the Antichrist. And he said that they eat up my flesh just like bread. How can we be eaten up in the end times? We'll have 4 hidden dynasties that will gobble at us, usury, high interest. Verse 3, though an hour should encamp, though a host should encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. Though war should rise against me, in this will I be confident. Yes, he will be confident. He will be bold. He will trust God. And Psalm 68 will teach that God taught God's hands how to make war, and David's hands, rather. God taught David's hands, and he was able to defeat thousands with a ragtag little army. He was never afraid, David. He was delivered many, many times. And of course, we are in spiritual warfare. We are told to be equipped with the gospel armor outlined in Ephesians 6. Verse 4, one thing have I desired of the Lord, that I will seek after, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of the Lord, and to inquire in his temple. The first thing here is to seek. And to behold really means to gaze on. Psalms 26, 27, 28, and 29, during the time these were written, David was on the run from Absalom. He was on with his small group on the east side of the Jordan, and he was separated from Jerusalem, where the Ark of the Covenant was in a tent on Zion. That word inquire is bahar. It means to plow, as in to plow deeply. 5. For in the time of trouble he shall hide me in his pavilion. In the secret of his tabernacle shall he hide me. He shall set me upon a rock. This is a spiritual dwelling. Trouble. In 2 Timothy 3, we are warned of Jacob's trouble, a perilous time. Verse 1 talks about the last days. 2, that persons will love themselves, and an evil generation will turn right into wrong and wrong into right. And verse 3 of 2 Timothy chapter 3 says that it will be an incontinent generation. In other words, no self-control. There will be open season on Christians. They will love pleasure, and there will be no blessings. Verse 6. And now shall mine head be lifted up above mine enemies round about me. Therefore will I offer in his tabernacle sacrifices of joy. I will sing, yea, I will sing praises to the Lord. He is lifted above his enemies, and of course, he can have peace. Offering, of course, in his time was to offer animals, and today we are told to sing and to wait on the Lord. And Hosea 6 tells us that overcomers at the very end will be singing the song of Moses, none other than a portion of Deuteronomy 32. Verse 7. Hear, O Lord, when I cry with my voice. Have mercy upon me. Answer me. That word appear, O Lord, Shama in the Hebrew, and it means to hear with understanding, to hear in an attentive way. And we're told in Matthew 18:10 that an angel with the face of God at all times protects the elect, the anointed. And remember, later we will be told that that touch not my anointed. David was anointed, and those persons who are elect are also anointed, and they have a specific task to do. And Matthew, that verse tells us an angel is always watching and has the face of God. 8. When thou sayest, Seek ye my face, my heart said unto thee, Thy face, Lord, will I seek. If you notice, the part of this is in italics. That means it's not in the manuscript. It should be, seek ye my face. And we're told in First Chronicles, Solomon is told that God knows us. Seek and we will find, forsake and we will be forsaken. Verse 9, hide not thy face far from me, put not thy servant away in anger. Thou hast banned my help. Leave me not, neither forsake me, O God of my salvation. And of course, we know that we have salvation once again. Matthew 18, if you wish to look that up. Verse 10, an angel can help. 10. When my father and my mother forsake me, then the Lord will take me up. When would a mother or a father forsake? Well, we're told in Mark 13:12 that mothers will betray daughters and to the death. Who is death? Satan himself. In other words, they will betray, they will go and inform to the Antichrist, oh, my daughter, she doesn't believe you. Help her. And that is what will happen in that time. Once again, this and other Psalms are prophetic to that time in history. 11. Teach me thy way, O Lord, and lead me in a plain path because of mine enemies. Teach, direct me, it means, and a plain is a simple path. We are not to take our own way, but to take God's way. And remember that pavilion mentioned earlier in this psalm? That is a spiritual place of refuge. Verse 12. Deliver me not over unto the will of mine enemies, for the false witnesses are risen up against me, and such as breathe out cruelty. That word breathe, puff. We were told back in that chapter covering the man of earth, Satan himself, that he is a puffer. Proverbs 6 tells us of all the things God hates, and one of the things he hates is a false witness and those who sow discord. 13. I had fainted unless I had believed in the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Translation is bad here. 1611 edition of the King James, the translators include a letter saying we've done the best we can. We know there could be some errors. The italics here, once again, are added. They are not original. And it should be, I had believed that I shall see goodness in the land of the living. And the land of the living, of course, is in the flesh. Verse 14 to conclude this psalm. Wait on the Lord, be of good courage, and he shall strengthen thine heart. Wait, I say, on the Lord. In the case of wait here, it's in a sense of binding oneself to, and it would give one courage and make a person ready to stand in that gospel armor, and also wait for the true Christ. Psalm 28 is a psalm of prayer for punishment of the wicked. Unto thee will I cry, O Lord. Unto thee, excuse me, I'm having trouble reading with my small print. Unto thee will I cry, O Lord, be not silent to me, lest if thou be silent to me, I become like them that go down into the pit. Call out by name, answer. The pit, of course, that lake of fire for non-believers who like to leave God out. Verse 2. Hear the voice of my supplications when I cry unto thee, when I lift up my hands toward the holy oracle. This supplication there is an earnest prayer, a prayer from the heart, and lift up his hands in prayer. Oracle, that word is only used in the Psalms, in Kings, and in Chronicles. And in Kings and Chronicles, it is used to mean the Holy of Holies, that place in the tabernacle where the ark was stored. This is also speaking of a place where God speaks. Oracle. 3. Draw me not away with the wicked and with the workers of iniquity, which speak peace to their neighbors, but mischief in their hearts. False prophets. Peace, peace. They speak peace, but they have malice in their hearts. They mislead. And there will be no real peace until Jesus returns. We will hear peace, peace. The Antichrist will be saying, peace, peace. 4. Give them according to their deeds, and according to the wickedness of their endeavor. Give them after the work of their hands. Render to them their desert. Let them get what they deserve. Revelation 18:16. Oh, Sister Babylon, she got a double portion of punishment. And we're told in Galatians 6, verse 7, that we should not be deceived, because God will not be mocked, and every one of us will get exactly what we deserve at the great white throne judgment. 5. Because they record not the works of the Lord, nor the operation of his hands, he shall destroy them and not build them up. He will not regard their works. 2 Samuel chapter 7, God said that he would build David a house. And David was asking God to tear down Absalom, and of course Satan too, who would be on the north side. But he is saying they will go into the pit. They will be destroyed. Verse 6. Blessed be the Lord, because he hath heard the voice of my supplication. Yes, earnest prayer he has heard. Verse 7, because they regard not the works of the Lord, verse 7, the Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusteth in him, and I am helped. Therefore my heart greatly rejoiceth, and with my song will I praise him. Praise, thank God. And yes, we have a shield. And when we put on the gospel armor, we also have a shield. This psalm is a reference to past, present, and future. And God never changes. He is the same always. Verse 9 to complete this psalm. I need to do verse 8. The Lord is their strength. He is the living strength of his, saving strength of his anointed. Yes, he is the saving strength and the anointed. David was anointed, and once again, the elect. Verse 9, now to end this psalm. Save thy people and bless thine inheritance. Feed them also and lift them up forever. Inheritance. Tend us like sheep. We learned in Psalm 23 that God is a shepherd and he provides pasture, which is his word. And Deuteronomy 32:11 tells us that God is like an eagle. He can lift up. Psalm 29, Yahweh's storm, and it's a response to David. Verse 1, give unto the Lord, O ye mighty, give unto the Lord glory and strength. Mighty in the mighty there are angels in the Hebrew, sons of God. Job 1 and Genesis 6 tells us that not all God's children are in the same place at the same time. Some are on earth and some are in heaven, and when we praise, we are told that our praise will be echoed by the angels. 2, give unto the Lord the glory due unto his name. Worship the Lord in the beauty of his holiness. Yes, and this is a lesson and a message to us. Give glory to the Lord and worship him. 3, the voice of the Lord is upon the waters. The God of glory thundereth. The Lord is upon many waters. Revelation 17:15 explains the symbology here. Waters are people. Many waters, a great people. This thunder mentioned here in this verse is not necessarily thunder associated with lightning, but any low rumble that one might get from an earthquake or from a tempest. And God can use nature, and he will. That the last battle, God sends hailstones, some weighing 100 talents. Heavy, a talent that could weigh 100 pounds, I should say, and destroys an army coming from the north. Verse 4. The voice of the Lord is powerful. The voice of the Lord is full of majesty. Yes, the voice of the Lord is very powerful. 5. The voice of the Lord breaketh the cedars, yea, the Lord breaketh the cedars of Lebanon. Break a cedar. The cedars of Lebanon are used symbolically in the Bible to symbolize God's children, especially of the elect. The elect do not necessarily have free will. God can push them around. Now, if you see a wind through a grove of trees, it is like a pruning. That wind will break away, and we're told that that pruning will take place. We're told that in the New Testament. So the cedars of Lebanon, they can be pruned. Verse 6. He maketh them also to skip like a calf, Lebanon and Sodom like a young unicorn. Now, of course, there is no unicorn. And here, this skip like a young calf, it is like can go through and create quite a bit of in the cedars of Lebanon. They can skip along. The voice of the Lord divideth the flames of fire. Deuteronomy 3 tells us that that explains land from the Ammonites, and said Mount Hermon can skip about. Yes, God can make a mountain skip about. And those mountains there, those cedars and mountains of Lebanon, is what that translation in 6 should be. And of course, there is no unicorn. That should be a wild ox. You say, God can make a mountain skip? Consider volcano in Sicily, Mount St. Helens in Oregon. Yes, a mountain can be made to skip. 7. The voice of the Lord divideth the flames of fire, and that flames of fire there is light. 8. The voice of the Lord shaketh the wilderness. The Lord shaketh the wilderness of Kadesh. Now, this is not Kadesh Barnea, but Naphtali, who had a land allotment near Lebanon. We were told in Jeremiah 4 that God shook the earth. That was at Satan's rebellion, and 1/3 followed Satan. And Hebrews 12:2, we are told that when he, at the end, the heavens and the earth will be shaken. Verse 9. The voice of the Lord maketh the hinds to calve, and discovereth the forest, and his temple doth every one speak. In his temple doth every one speak of his glory. A hind there is a doe, a female deer, and he can cause a female deer to calve. He can strip something bare. And of course, the temple here doth every time speak of his glory. His glory is spoken of in heaven by the angels. 10. The Lord sitteth upon the flood. Yes, the Lord sitteth King forever. Sitteth on the flood. It doesn't make any sense here. This is Mabul, and it's the flood of Noah. And why was there a flood? In Noah's time, it was judgment, and God is in control. Angels jumped out of heaven at Satan's bidding and intermixed with female women, human women, and produced giants. And the flood washed them away because this was Satan's attempt to mess up the bloodline of the Messiah. And then you had a second influx of fallen angels, and Goliath was an offspring of that influx. 11, to conclude this psalm and this lesson. The Lord will give strength unto his people. The Lord will bless his people with peace. Yes, peace of mind. God will give strength to endure whatever it is we need to endure. And as these psalms have reminded us, he has a pavilion that we can visit, and it's not just any old place. It is a place that is like a fortified guarding, and we're told that we bind ourselves and we trust and we give glory, and then we will have this peace and we will have the strength we need. This video is an outreach of the Essex Methodist Church in Essex, Missouri, a global congregation.